Welcome to the second part of this video. If you have not watched the first part where we create this particular resume dashboard in Power BI, just go ahead and take a look at how we started this particular, dashboard from the scratch. Then come back right here and join us. And if you've watched the first part, there is no need for you to do all that. All you have to do is to stick around and see what it is that you need to know about this. Let's get started. So now that we are back right here, so it is time for me to format this. So all I have to do now is to come here and just go to where we have general and click on this particular effect and turn this off. So this gives us something like this. So we can do the same thing to this one as well. So we have to turn this off, do the same thing to this one. Then we have to turn this off. So once we are done with them, so all we have to do now is to make sure we actually, resize it. And we can just bring this down here. And I want to go ahead and, so we can just minimize it a little bit and make sure it tallies with this. We want to always have space right here. So I can actually click on this one and just make a shift of it a little bit. So we have something like this now. So spend your time to actually make sure you have the nice formatting you're looking forward to having. So once we are done, what I always love to do, is this. So I will definitely some kind of go here. Or click on the window icon on your keyboard if you are using Windows. So once you click on the window icons on your keyboard, it gives you this. So you have to type in snippet tool, SNI, will definitely pop it up. So snippet tool is right here. So you click on it, and it's actually a tool for you to use to some kind of take a screenshot inside your desktop. So I'm gonna click on new. I want to take this particular screenshot right from here right now. So I'm going to take a screenshot of it. So once the screenshot is completed, so I just have to save it somewhere where I can remember. So as for me, I'm going to save it on desktop. I already have this particular, SS in AAA. I'm going to save it right on it. Click on yes. So save it anywhere you like. And now we have to go back to PowerPoint. So PowerPoint, here we are. So I'm going to come right here right now. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to click on pictures, this device. So go to desktop and type the first letter of what you use to save it. So it will come out and you pick it up. All I have to do is to resize this with this. But before I do that, I want to actually copy, hold this one and hold the text as well. I'm going to copy with Ctrl+C to copy. Then I can actually hold this one and fill it to this level. So I have something like this. So I can paste what I've copied. Now what I've copied will be moved to this particular part right here to create this particular, header for me. So once I'm done with that, I can release it and hold this one, go to this particular shape format and reduce this. Something like this will be cool. So next again is for me to some kind of paste another one right here. And I'm going to move this one this time around. Before I definitely move it to that side of it, I want to just make sure I come right here and reduce it as much as I like. Okay, let's go with something like this. This one needs to be reduced as well. So here we go. So it is time for me to click on this one and have it reduced. So we can just copy and paste it. So you've seen what I've done. So here is my interest. So is my interest. So I named this one language. So language. So how about this? Looking nice, right? So one more thing before we leave this particular environment here. So I want to come to insert, and quickly I want to go to this particular shapes and then go ahead and pick something just like this, which is left brace, right? So we can just select it and have it right here. So now we need to actually turn it around. We flip it. So we flip it just like this. Can just move it to this end. Okay, I love it this way. Nicely done. So what I need to do right now is to change the color to it. And I'm going to say format shape. So I want to change the color to something like this. So I want something that will pop out very much. Okay, let's go with this. So we can just increase it, which is the weight of it. We're going to go with something like this. So in that case, we have to reduce it because it has popped a lot. So we want something that looks just like this. So next right now is to go back to here. So we have there, this is actually, work experience by company. So we have work experience in 2005, 8, 16, and 19. So coming back right to this particular part right now, I want to just get this one, Ctrl D to duplicate it. I'm going to bring it up to this level. So I stretch it a lot. And inside it, I'm going to type in work experience. So work experience by company, right? So quickly select it, don't allow the cursor to be blinking. Then you go to home and actually put it in the center and have something like this. So now it is time for us to start creating what it is. So do we need to do it from the scratch? So we can always copy from what we have right here already. I'm going to just copy this one. So Ctrl C, and I'm going to come back right here and have it pasted right in here, just like this. Almost the same thing, right? So now we have to adjust things a bit. So click on this and just drag it to point at this one right here. That is nice. So this part right here, we have to go to insert and go to shapes and pick up this line and come right here. Now hold your shift key down and drag it all the way down a bit. So I think we made a mistake. We want to do that again. Go to insert and go to shapes, pick up this line. So for you to see what I'm doing now is just for me to come right here, hold my shift key down, double click on it, and just go ahead and do something like this. So I don't want to touch this. So what I'm going to do right now is to reduce it. And to have it reduced, all I need to do is to come right here and actually reduce the height. Something like this is what I want. So before I do any other thing, I want to some kind of go to where, so click back on it and come here. I'm going to the line and just increase the weight a little bit to 1 point. So now change the color to it. So once you've done that, you can duplicate it and have this one. So delete the duplicate. Let's see what we are doing. So click on it. So now hold your control key. You see this plus. Once you see this plus right here, just go and drag your, oh, sorry for that. Ctrl Z. So now once you see this plus, make sure once you see the plus, you're not actually on the whole template. Else it's going to drag the whole template for you like this. And if that is going to stress you, what you can do is to Ctrl D to duplicate it. So make sure you select the whole template. Let's go. Okay. Now the whole template should not be on selection. select it back again. So now we can now select this one. It's been selected. So Control D. So now we have to pick it up from here. So once we see this particular, cross, so we can now know that it's ready to be moved. So we can move it right to this particular part right here. So it has been moved right in here. Nicely done. So the next thing again is for we to take our time to format it. So go right here, take the circle. I'm going to just draw the circle a little bit, just that looks something as small as this. I'm going to bring it up to this level right here. So I want to change the color to it. So for the line color, no line for it. So for the fill color, I just want to use the color I used for my image. So I can actually hold this one and bring it up right to this level here. So nicely done. What about this? All right. Okay, the next thing again is to have my name typed in here. So you can have your name typed in here. So you can always go ahead and insert and bring in a text box. Drag the text box right here and type in whatever name you want to use for this. I think in that case, I'm going to use my name. So Ismaila M. Omezer. So now here we go. So I can just go ahead and format it the way I like. So I want to select my text. I'll go right to this particular home. So I'm going to select this particular area black. And let's go with 32. So it gives us something like this. But I don't like the color. It's not really cool with what I want. So I'm going to come right here, text option. So I'm going to change the color to something that looks kind of cool. So what about this? Nice. So if I wanted to step off from the background right now, what I can do is to go to effects right here. And the offset up is what I want to use. And this is what it is that we have. Can you see what it is right now? So the next thing is for me to actually duplicate it and type in my, what should I call it? My role as a data analyst. So right in this, I want to just type in, just delete this one away from it. So data visualization engineer right here. And this is what it is that I want to have. So I just want to click on this one here. Then I'll go to home and I'll click on this one. Let us use very loose and we can extend it. So it looks just like this if you want to have something like this. So we can just click on this one here. So click on this one and make sure you move it up a bit. And it's going to look just like this. So if this one is too loose, we can come here and adjust things by clicking on just loose, not very loose. And that will definitely create something like this for us. So the next thing is those icons, which you can actually have access to when you actually download the full file in the course. So I'll click on this particular one, this one right here, Ctrl C to copy. And I'm going to come back right here and Ctrl V to paste. Nicely done, right? So where I get my icons from, if I go to this particular part right now, I can click on, let me just insert, okay, let's come here, this particular free vector icons. So we want to go right there and show you things around. In this particular website, you can get any icons of your choice. So if I type in like trend, now if I hit my enter key, so it's going to give me anything that has to do with trend. So just come right here, you can see everything that has to do with trend is what you have. So icon, and they are in PNG. Please don't use either of this. It's going to take you to Adobe, stock. Don't click on any of this. So those are where you have to click on. And if what you want is just the animated one, right? So click on this particular icons here and change it to what? Animated icons. So let's see what it's going to give to us right now. So it should give us anything that has to do with animated icon that is of trend. So here, let us try to see if this is true. We want to see that. So I'm going to click on this one right now. So we should see it, and it's still on PNGs, which means it doesn't really have that. So we want to try something else. Try something like portfolio. So if I hit my enter key, it should give me, all icons that are for portfolio. And now this is the animated portfolio icon. So if I click on it right now, you should see it actually moving. Can you see it right now? So if you have this downloaded, there's going to be shaking. And here again, if I click on this one, as you can see, this is what it is. So you can come right here and get any of this. So we're going to be using this in this particular project. Stay tuned. We are almost done from here. The only one thing we have to add right now is this particular, let me just come here and pick this up. Okay, so we can pick this up from here. So we can duplicate this. I'm going to have it right for this particular part. So here is going to be tools blend. So here we go. I can kind of extend this. So we can just go right here and choose something much more like this. So I can put it on bold because I want it to stand out. So I want to leave it like this. So once we are done with this, all we have to do, the template we brought in is something we have to delete. And we're going to be left with something that looks just like this. So if I actually navigate to this one, it looks almost the same thing. Remember, I spent a lot of time formatting the previous one. So if you look at it, this particular text has some kind of a bit darker. So you can actually select all of them and retouch them again if need be. So for now, in this particular tutorial, we don't need to do all that. So you can do that all by yourself. So you know what it is already before. So export it out and just double click on this and change this here to GIF and replace it with this one. Let's click on yes and just this one. So we are ready to almost start doing the final touch of our dashboard. So all we have to do right now is to make sure we don't select any of the visuals. Else, if we click right here, we don't see where we can replace our template. So make sure you click outside the, any of the visuals right here. And now click on this part. Then you go to you now go to canvas background and click on custom template. Then we can go ahead and pick it up and have it right. So there we go. Can you see? It's making a lot of sense by now, right? So I love it. So what is next for us to do right now is actually adding the names of all the, experience we've actually, gotten. Not just that, before then, let's do something very cool. So if you look at the previous one, we have this particular, animated round icons rotating around our years of this particular experiences. And after that, we have this particular, when we hover over it, it gives us more information about it. So how do we create something like this? Let us try it and see what it is. So going back right here right now, so all we have to do is to make sure we go to insert. And from insert, we click on this button right here and go ahead and insert a blank button. So I'm going to move it down here and stretch it out a little bit. So now that we have this, just go to the website I just shown you right now and get any of the icons you want to use. So if you type circle, it's going to give us an icon that looks like that. Already we've gotten it downloaded. So all I need to do is just to make sure I click on style. So from style, I'm going to scroll down a little bit and I'm going to open this one, which is put it on and open fill. Inside fill, you can see where we have this one here, just, click on this, browse, and I'm going to scroll down to get what I want. So, okay, we don't have it right here. So we have to locate where we have it. I'm going to go to my P. So here I have a folder that is named GIF. So I have to scroll down, and here we go. Just double click on this. So we have it right now, but it's not showing. So we have to change from this image from normal to fit. And if it doesn't really look cool, look at fill. and fill gives you the perfect rounded corner you really want to use. And this is what we have right here. Can you see it right now? So it makes my text to look some kind of a little bit dim compared to what we have right on this one here. Can you see what it is right now? So I love it this way. So if I deselect it right now, this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to have this. If I don't like to see this right now, or let us actually create one measure that might solve this problem for us. So we have to make sure we centralize it and keep it in the center. So we want to take off this particular white. First of all, we have a border around it. So click on it and go to the same place and scroll all the way down. Let us go ahead and take off the border. So the border is away. So what is left right now is the background color, which we want to change. So how do we do that? Maybe it's very simple and easy. We go back to the template here, and we can right click and just go to format background and come right here and let's see what is the color of the background. It's actually F2, which we've actually created, if you remember that. So we just want to go back to this. So unclick this. So click this and let's scroll down to fill. So for the color, we want to change the color. So let's try this and see. Oh, sorry, we mistakenly clicked on this FX to use. Oh my goodness. Just give it some time. Let us have it cancelled. So we don't need to use this. I'm going to cancel it. So this is what I want. So I'm going to go to more colors. So here is going to be hash F2, F2, F2. So does that work? Yes, of course. So as you can see, the color looks just the same. The only thing is that it actually, dimmed this a little bit. So once we are done with this, what we can do right now is to copy, go to home. So copy and paste and make sure you move this for this right here. So we just have to paste this down again and replicate it for this particular part here. So we do the same thing for this as well. Replicate it for this part right here. So now we need to add the companies we've worked for, in those years to gain our experience. So what I'm going to do right now is just to go to experience here. Under experience, I have the date. Let's click on it. And I want to have it on a table format. So it's showing as an aggregate, so which I don't really want. I am going to click on my experience here. Oh, sorry. Let us go to position. So now it gives us in years. So when we go to position, we can now see from here which one is which to be added to either of these. That was why actually I have it up. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to deselect it, and already we have this right here. Please put your eye down to this particular part. Oh, do we make any mistake? Yes, of course we did. So not position, sorry for that. Experience. Oh, company is what I want to select. So just click on company. And now we have the company. So we have to put our item right here. For 2005, it is this particular net right here. So I'll come down here. I'm going to insert a card. And inside this particular card, I want to pull in the company. And it's going to default to the first one, which is this particular banner store. So what I need to do right now is just to some kind of format it the way I want. But before then, I'm going to have to open this place up. And I'm going to push in this same company right here. Or if need be, just come here and open it up and try to see if you can do that. So you can't really do this, so you have to close it all the way back. And now you can pull this company right inside here where you can actually apply filter right on it. So what are we doing? Okay, sorry. We push it right inside here. So now we have to choose what we want. So the first one here is 2005. In 2005, we worked for this particular NATO, and I'm going to choose NATO, and that will reflect right here for me. So I can close this for the time being. So now we can decide to format this the way we want. So all we have to do is to come right here and just close the category label. Now we come to this particular part here and choose any of the font type we want. I want to use something like this. Let us go with 15 and see how it looks. Okay, 15 look quite cool. So we can resize it and have the size that is going to be cool for us to use right here. So once I've done this, what I'm going to do now is actually come in right here and go to Effect and turn off the background for it. So nicely done, right? So copy, paste, and we have to get this one for this here. So we just have to paste it again and make sure we copy and paste it to every part of it right here. So don't worry about how it looks for now. So we can always adjust things after all. So we have to paste this right here. All right, now starting from 2008, let's see what we have. In 2008, we have this particular Philips INT right here. So we have to come here and just make sure we change it from this, then change it from this to something like this. So remember, we have to open it up. So we just have to open it up. And now we choose 2015. What do we have? In 2015, we've worked, 2016 rather. 2016, we've worked for this particular company, McLean Venture. So we want to go right here right now and choose to use that. So we can open it up to make sure it shows everything. So the last but not least is actually this particular one, which is being a star in 2019. So we choose to use being a star, not this. So that is exactly what it is. So we just have to close this for now. So we can just definitely open this place up. So now we have to click and hold our control to highlight everything and go to formats and now align this to the top. Can you see that? Beautiful. So we've just done justification to this again, and we're almost right there to create something that looks amazing, just like the previous one we've just seen. So we can get this off. We don't really need this. So we just use this as a guide to what we want to create. Instead of we to type it out, so it is better we have it done like this. In case anything changes in the future, it will definitely update automatically. All right. It is time to format the colors of our dashboard to have a uniform colors. So click on any of the charts right here and go to this particular format and just click on bars. And now if we scroll down a little bit, you can see this. So we're going to just click on this and more colors. So we have to change the color code to 54A53. And here you have the, the RGB if you don't want to go with this. So now we've gotten this. I can select the same thing for this particular chart. So we select this. Right now we have it as a default here. So we can select this as well. So we now have it here. I can select the same thing. So I don't want to actually add plenty of colors. So I just want to be some kind of, specific with the kind of color I use. So what I'm going to do to this part here is to double click on it. So once you've done that, it activates this for you, because the reason why you have to double click on it to activate it was because we've grouped it with this particular text. So it's going to actually make sure so I'm going to Ctrl Z to have it back. I think I have caused something happened. Okay, now we have it activated. Now we can click on this and go to bars. So all we just have to change is this one here to this particular color. So we come right here and do the same thing to this one. So once it's active, we can now see that we have it opened. So we click right here and go to browse as well. Scroll all the way down and change this to this. That is all you do all through. Just click on the next one until you have it clicked. If it is not clicked, you will not see it change from here to something else. So click it back again. So now this time around, you can see the values and all of that. So you go all the way right to this particular part and go to browse again, and you scroll down a bit. You find this one here and you make a change to it. So you do that to every part of it. So finally, if you look at this, it is some kind of looking awesome already. So can you see this? We've just formatted our dashboard. So the next thing right now is that if we hover over this, we want to see more information about, this particular experience we've gotten from this company in 2019. And if we hover over this, we want to see larger, of this template, wherever it is. And if we hover over any of this particular education or courses we've taken, what we want to see is to see the certificate we have earned from this company and all of that. And coming right here, we want to actually make sure we link our LinkedIn, our YouTube channel, and our portfolio. And right here, we want to link our portfolio so that when we click on it, it takes us to the website. All right. Let's start from here by adding the larger version of this particular image right here. So all we have to do is just to click on this to actually insert a new page. Inside this new page, you can click on this particular format your report page, go to page information, and here is the page name. So you can decide to change this one to this tips or tooltips or 1. Then I'll come right here and turn this on. So that will definitely change the name from here for me. So decide to close it right now and go to this particular canvas settings and change it from 16:9 to this particular tooltip. You can use the custom and customize what you want, but right now I want to use the tooltip. And you can decide to push this down to the middle. And after that, what you need to do next is for you to some kind of, go right to your image. I'm going to scroll down to get what I want. My image is here. So I have this where I have TO2 big, and what I want is the first one. So I am going to double click on this and fill it right here. Can decide to fill it and fill it to this edge. So that will create the first one for me, right? So all I need to do right now is to some kind of, duplicate this. I'm going to have to click on duplicate. So once we duplicate this, we can come right here and click on this part here, and we'll remove the duplicate from it like this. And I'm going to turn this one into 2. And I want to click inside here and take off the image. Then go to this particular image and we pick this one right here if we have it. So we can fill it up, right? And we still have to do the same thing again, and we go ahead and duplicate it. So once we've done that, quickly click right here, go to this part here and take off the duplicate away from it. And we just have to change this one to 3. So it's time for we to get this off it. So now we go to image again, and we go ahead and pick the image that is peculiar to it. Let's go with something. So with something like this, just double click it and fill the whole, size of it. So we've gotten something like this done. So every part of it is actually completed right now. And make sure when you did this, you always have this turned on, else you wouldn't have it reflect the way it should be. Can you see it right now? Here is allow use as tooltip, right? So we can go back right here right now. So here we are. So the first one is actually this one right here. So how can we add it up right to this particular part? This is where the difficulty comes in. Wherever, I don't know, I'm thinking. Do I have to think? Yes, of course. All right, I remembered. So I have to actually add this particular card and put this card right here and add it up. And resize it. But the thing is this, it has covered what we have right in here, and we don't really want this to happen. How can we fix this? So we have to write a particular DAX measure that will definitely help us to have this done. Can we do that? Yes, of course. Let's do it. So open this particular, all measure and insert a new measure right here. So we are going to name this measure to transparency and open double quotation. Oh, what is going on? So open this double quotation and inside the double quotation, we type in RGBA. Now we open the bracket and inside this bracket, we type 0, 0, 0, and finally 0. Then we close this and now close double quotation. Then we can now hit enter. That will create a transparency code for us that we can actually use to format the card we've just inserted. That will definitely help us to add a tooltip right here. So now if you click on the same card again, I'm going to click on this. Now what we're going to see now is the RGB. We don't really want to see this. What do we do? Let's fix this. So we can come right here and we actually turn this off and we go right to this particular, general, and the same thing, we just have to go to effects and right here under the effect here, we want to turn off the background. So it's been turned off. But what about the text we have inside it? We want to have the text hidden, right? So we come here and we come right here. So what can we do to have the text hidden? If we put it on white right now, it's still going to show up. Can you see? It's showing up. So instead of we to actually turn the text off to that particular, white and stuff like that, we can always use this particular part where we can change what it is that we have right here. Gradient to field value. Then from there, we pick this and go to all measure. And we scroll all the way down until we see transparent that we've just created. Select it and click on OK. So what happened? It disappeared. Do you understand that now? Oh, nicely done, right? So the next thing again is for we to go to home and go to copy, paste, and we can just paste this one right to this part here. Just make sure it covers up this particular place. So once you paste it again, you do the same thing for this part right here. So I'm going to actually paste another one. So this time around, I'm going to take this one to the top level right here. I'm going to reduce it and make sure it covers my, my LinkedIn. I'm going to copy this one, paste it again and move it and make sure it covers this place up. So we do the same thing for this as well. It should cover this place up as well, which is our portfolio. So now we've just disguised all those particular icons right here. So when we click on this right now, it will now just prompt us to another website where we can see what it is that we. All right, it is time to show the tooltips. So if I now click right here, I'll go down to this part here, then click on this general, and I can now see my tooltip. I'm going to turn it on. So clicking on this now, it will open it up for me and I'll go to auto. It will actually give me the list of all the tooltips I have. So clicking on the first one right now and coming back to hover over it, it should give us what we want. So you do the same thing to this particular one right here as well. Then we select we turn it on. So once it is on, we select and go for the second one. So we hover over it. It should give us what it is that we have right there. So we go to the third one and you turn this on. Then you come right here and select the third one, and that gives you the justification of what it is that you want to have. Can you see how that is done? So what about if we want to actually add tooltip on this one? What do we do? First of all, we want to know our LinkedIn, URL. So I'm going to go right to my LinkedIn profile. Okay, here we go. So now here we've just gotten this click done. So if you want to get to the first page, so all you have to do is to come right here and click on this particular me. So once you click on me, you click on view profile. So once you click on view profile, let's see what you're going to have. This is the first page you should actually give to whoever is coming to your LinkedIn for the first time. So because they have to be navigating and open into other pages. So all you have to do is to copy this URL from here, Ctrl+C to copy it. And we have to go back to Power BI. Here is Power BI and here is it, right? So I want to go down to here. So if you now come right here to actually, try to paste this right in as URL, it's not going to work, which means we've done something very wrong. Willingly we did it. But now we have to make up for this. So what I'm going to do right now is to hold my control and hold this one right here as well. So hold this one right here. Now we delete it because we are actually trying to use URL, not anything like tooltip right now. So how do we get to fix this? So we have to go to insert, and from insert, let's see how we can actually insert a button. Then inside this button right here, we have to drag our button from there down to this part. It's a blank button. So I'm going to have to make sure it cover up to here. I want to centralize it like this. If I deselect it, it has some kind of border around it, which I don't want people to see. I want to disguise it. So I'm going to go to style, and from style right now, I'm going to scroll all the way down and turn off the border. So once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to make sure I go back to home. So copy now, paste it. So now we do under copy again or under paste again and move this away from here down to this part. So which might have deselected what we've copied from here. So we just have to do that once again. So copy, Ctrl+C. So this time around, we have to go back and things will be all right. So click right here and you see where it says action. Turn on this action, open this place up. And now we go to where it says type. And now we choose web URL. So we can now paste our web URL right in here. That gives us what we want. Can we try it? Yes, of course. So make sure you have an active internet, right? So just go right here and click on it. So it should jump us to this particular page where it starts opening, our LinkedIn profile. So can you see what I'm talking about? Beautiful. So the next one again is this. I'm going to actually have to link my YouTube channel to this particular part. Let's say I'm actually looking for a job in a company and I want to show them how good I am with visualization, stuff like that. And I created something like this. I would love them to go to my, YouTube to see more proof of, yes, this guy can do it. So for my YouTube channel is www.youtube.com. So it's going to be /data with decision. So that should actually take us to our YouTube channel. So, hold your control key and click on it and let's see what it's going to give to us. So if you look at it, this doesn't jump us. Let's say the reason is because we did not add the HTTP right here. So I'm going to copy the HTTP part of it right here. So Ctrl+C, and I want to go back right to this part here and drop the HTTP right to this part. And this time around, it should recognize it. So let us try it and see if this is going to work. So hold your control and follow the link. And it definitely worked. Can you see? We should always have the HTTP right on it. You get it? So if you want to link your portfolio right now to actually give people more, privilege to know much more about you, you can always click on your portfolio and copy the link. It depends on where you have your portfolio. Already we have a video that guides us through how to create our portfolio on Maven Showcase. You can see right here, right? So we have most of our videos on our YouTube channel right here, and beautiful. We have just landed here. Okay, now to create our portfolio, I am going to, log into Maven Analytic. I want to go right from here, type in Maven. So I'm going to hit my enter key. So here we are on Maven. I'm going to click on login to log into my account. So after I've logged into my account, what I need to do is to go to my portfolio and copy the link to my portfolio and actually have it right there. So I'm going to log in. So it has been logged in. Then I want to go right here, navigate through this part. So it says portfolio or project portfolio, whatever it is. So once you click on that, I'm going to go to my profile. And from there, I want to copy this particular link away from here. Can you see it? Copy this link away from here. And once you've done that, just go back. This time around, click on this one right here. And definitely go to action. And do the same thing I have done to paste this right here. Change this one to web link or URL, whatever it is. So you have to paste this right here. And this time around, this should work. So hold your control key and click on it. So this will definitely jump you to this particular page where it shows you what it is that you have inside your portfolio. And when we scroll down, we can see more information about us and all of that. So what it is that you want to see, you can click right here. Maybe you actually gave this one to, employers, and they're going to look at what it is that you've achieved, what you've created before, and all of that. Everything about you will be viewed. And I think there'll be a nice feedback because already you've actually made yourself to stand out that yes, you can do this work. All right, the next tooltip we're going to create right now is this one that shows what we have right here as experience and the description and stuff like that. To do this, we just have to insert a new one. And right now we have to rename it. So go to here and turn this on. And to rename this, I'm going to rename this one to net, right? Neto tooltip. So now we've gotten that done. So we got the canvas and we set it to tooltip size. So I always love to use it in the middle. So once I've done this, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to some kind of change the color I have, the background color I have right here. There's something different. I want to go to wallpaper right now. Do I need to do that? Okay, now let's go to here. Where is it? Go to insert. And from insert, I want to go to shape. I want to go to this one right here. Then I have this. I can now some kind of resize this and make sure it cover up this part here. So once I'm done with this, I want to change the color. So go right here and change the shape color. So I want to use the previous color I've used, like this color here is what I want to use. And the color to this particular part right here, I don't want it to be pure white. So I just want to change the color to it. I want to go to, background, that is canvas background right here. I'm going to choose to use this, something like this color. What the heck is going on? Okay, I have just activated the Q&A, which I'm going to take off. So click inside it and go all the way back. So go to the same place again. This time around it works. So it's too thick. We go with something like this. That is nice. So what is next for us to do right now is to actually add some text right inside it. So click on the text box right here. So this says company. So company. So I'm gonna Ctrl A. I'm gonna come right here and use something like this. So I can decide to make it bold. So we reduce it and resize it to what we want. So quickly we can just take it to the top right here. So once we've done that, the next thing we have to do right now is to come here to the effect area and turn off this, right? Turn off the background. So we have something like this. So we can go to home and copy and have it pasted. And I'm gonna move this one away from there down to the side right now. And definitely just use this one as position. Ctrl A to highlight it. Position. So this is what it is that we have right here. So just click on this one as well. So make sure you don't have the cursor blinking. So when I have them on the same, just go and move this to the align bottom. Oh, sorry for that. We don't have to do that. So just Ctrl Z, position, you have it. So we move it back until we'll have it aligned properly. Okay, I think I'm gonna be cool with this. So for you to format this nicely, you have to take your time to do that. The next thing I'm gonna do right now is to just go all the way right here and insert a new card. So we have just gotten a new card right here, and inside this new card, all I want is go into the experience and pick the company we want. So from here, I want to pick this company, go to company. So before we create a particular filter, it is very best for us to understand what we have right here. So if I drag this one right here right now and make a change, it's going to have effect on this particular visual alone. But if I wanted to have a effect on every single thing I'm going to have right here right now, all I need to do is to drag this and have it filters on this page. And what I need to do right now is just to get my first one, which is this particular nut right here. That is the one on the tooltip. I'm going to get it. So here we go. So quickly, we just have to go back to this part here and turn off the category label. And I'm going to come right here. For now, we just want to turn off the background as well. So we go back to the visual aspect here, call out, and now it is time to get this reduced to something like, let us use 20 and see. Okay, if 20 is cool, we can use 18. So 18 is better. So we can reduce it to something that is going to look very cool. So we drag it all the way to the top right here and resize it to fit into what we want and move it up a bit close to this one. So you can adjust it manually, depends on what you really want to have. So step back out and step back in and just move it manually. So we want to go ahead and change the color to it. So we just want to use something that pops out much more better. Can you see that right now? So what I'm going to do now is just to copy this and I'm going to have it pasted right in here. So we come right here and have it dropped here. So we want to get the position right here. So this time around, we don't need to have the company. So we want to get it out and get a position here. And it says our position here is actually warehouse. And we want to go right here and change this to something that will definitely show up all that we have. Let us go with 15. Okay. 15 is cool. So I'm going to drag it until I have everything showed up. So we move it. And now for the position, we adjust the position to a particular place where it's going to look cool. I think we have something like this. So we want to be sure if this is actually right. So what I'm going to do right now is to get my company and get my position. So, and is working actually well. Can you see it right now? So the filter has effect right on it. So all I need to do right now is not to get this right here. I'm going to get everything away from here. And instead of me having this, I want to have a card right here and get in the description. So we just have to quickly go back here and turn off this. And now we need to go to General and go to Effects and turn off this. And quickly we go back to Visual and go to call out, value right here and make sure this one is under 13. And this will give us something like this. So now if you look at what we have right here, it corresponds to what it is that we have right in here. So the next thing we need to have right here right now is for me to some kind of like insert a text box. Inside this text box, I'm going to type in job description. Job description. All right. So we just have to resize it a bit. Okay, I think again I'm gonna delete it. Step out and step back in. So let's have it deleted. So if I have to do this, I just have to make sure I click outside it. If you see, if I just do this inside this right here, it will not give me privilege to format it. So I'm gonna click outside it, which is inside the tooltip without me clicking on the previous one. So right now we can just add this right now. Let's try it and see if this works. Oh, this does not really work. What is going on with this? So we need to fix something here. I'm taking it off. So what I'm going to do right now is to get this one here. So I'm going to have to click on home and paste the previous one. Oh no, not this. Get it off. Remove this from here and now click on this and just go ahead and copy this and paste it. So once we've done that, we can just bring this one all the way down so I can actually stretch it. And just here I have to change it to, okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and just do this. I'm going to type in job description. So job description. On this job description, I can actually highlight it and I will go right here to change the color to it. So I want to go to more color and this is the color I want to actually use for my job description right here, which is CB1C8D, right? So now if I step off, so this is what I have for my job description and that goes well with what I want. So now I've just created the first one and to get the next one is just for me to some kind of duplicate this right here. And all I have to do right on this one is to name it what it is that I want, is to change to what I want to use for it. So now instead of me to use this, I'm going to deselect it and use this particular Philip int right here. And that will just definitely update every single thing I have right here for me. And all I need to update right now is to click on this one here to make a change by actually stretching it out. And I'm going to come right here and move this and have this close to this one. So for the description, everything is all right. So we don't need to do anything. So all I have to make change to right now is to go to this particular, okay, select it. And we go here. So we go to the page information. So we just get this particular duplicate off. And we just want to use the name, which is actually going to be Philip's tooltip. You understand? So that is actually, done. So you right click again and actually duplicate the same thing. And this time around, you change it from what you have right here and use what you've not actually used before. And it's going to be this one right here. And definitely we just have to click on this and just exactly, click on this one and have it reduced and move it to this end. So just keep on the adjustment until you have what you really want, and that is better. So now we just have to come right here and double click on it and actually change this part of it right here to what you want. Something like this would be cool for you. That is all you have to do. So the next one is for you to duplicate this again and actually change it to the next one we've not actually worked on. So open this place up, and definitely, so we have to go for the last one, which is this one right here. That is better. So now we just want to leave it this way. All we have to do is just to make sure we shift this a little bit. And that is all we have to do. So we just come here and fix what we have right in here. Just fix this place and type in, so binner, and that is all. So we are done with this. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to actually make sure we right click on this particular part right here if we want to get this one to Power BI service and actually hide this particular page, right? So that is what you need to do. So if I come right to my resume aspect right now, so it is time for me to get this right in here. So I'm going to actually just click on this, not double clicking. Click on what you have right here. I think what we have right here is not this. So we have to make sure we get a copy of this by just clicking on copy and paste. So we've gotten it. So we can come right here and make sure we resize it to actually close it up. So we just go ahead and copy the new one, paste it, and move it to this particular part right here. So we just paste the new one again. Just move it to this part right here. And for the last time, we copy this again and we move it to this particular part right here. So now starting from net to right here. So all I want to do right now is to collapse this, and we can go to general and now go to our tooltip and change the tooltip to what will definitely match what we want. So here we go for this. I'm going to click on this. So we change the tooltip to what is going to match that. So we go on this one as well. So we change the tooltip to what is going to match it as well. So for the last one right here, we do the same thing. So we change the tooltip to what is going to match it. So I think we've just come to the far end of this class. So if I hover over it right now, it gives me more description of this particular company I've worked in and all of that. So you can have something similar to this to create your own portfolio or CV dashboard in Power BI. So now about the certificate I've actually added right here. If we go back, let's see this. So let's just go to resume. Now, if you look at this particular part right here, if I hover SQL BI, so what I have is the certificate I've earned from SQL BI. So while you create your own, add the same certificate to it, just the way we've done this particular one right here is the same thing. It has no difference. So it's still the same thing you are going to do. So this actually make us to feel like, yes, we have just completed this dashboard, but one thing is left. It is something you can actually do, which is adding this particular arrow that points at interest, language, skill, education, and portfolio right here. It's very simple. It's not something complicated. In case you're thinking of how could I do this, we've done this right here before now, so we can do it again. So how do you do that? You just go to go to insert. And from insert, we go to button. So we choose the blank one, right? So after choosing the blank one, we can drag it up to where we want to have it right in. So let's say we want to have it right here. So I can definitely go to my style, just like what I've done before. And I am going to scroll all the way down and choose the fill and have it opened. And now we can click on browse to navigate to where we have that particular, animated image right in. So if you don't forget, The website I've shown you when we started this particular, section in this course is where you can get this particular animated trending flat outline arrow from. So I'm gonna just double click on it to have it. So now is there very huge. So we want to go ahead and just use the fill, right? And if you don't want to use fill, you can use fit, and the fit will give you something very thinner compared to the one we have before. So now we can just make it as, whatever we want. So what we need to do quickly is just to go all the way down here, and we're gonna have to turn off this thing here, the border, and now we can just go to home, copy and paste it to every part of it, and you're gonna have something very awesome. So what do you think of this dashboard? Let me know. Leave a comment and let's see what it is that you think about it. So have your odds created. You can use your own personal template, or you can use the personal data, or you can still use the data from the challenges we've actually seen previously. So I have the link right here for you. Please go ahead and click on it and see how you can actually amaze yourself with even other data you have right there, which is the previous challenges they've done. Take a look at the data and see what the challenge is like, what they really want from you as an analyst, and see what you can do to have yourself, amazed with your skill. Your new dashboard skill.